Would you let a dog eat off of this? Hey, what's up guys? My name is Chris. This is Cunningham Woodwork. Today we are building a really fancy dog bowl holder. I have some offcuts from my dining table build. So I have ash for the top and I'll have some walnut legs, and I'm going to build it in the exact same style that we did the dining table. So it's called a Parson table. So basically you got your 4 legs, your aprons, but then the legs actually protrude up and are flush with the top of the table. So you'll have your 4 corners there. Can you see that? I know I'm not a very good drawer of fingers. But we can go ahead and draw this on here. So you're going to have your table, and then at the corners, hopefully in the right light you can see that, but in the corners you'll have a leg pop up through, and maybe we can show them the actual table here in a few if it's not too dark in there. But yeah, so we're going to do that. That way my dog is going to be just as fancy or not fancy as us. Watch your stuff there. Don't get injured in my shop. We're not insured. So anyway, all right, so the first step in this project, you want to get this thing nice and flat. So we've run this through the planer. I obviously made sure we had one side perfectly flat, and that way the machine will register off of that, flatten the top to that. We brought it down to about 1 1/4 inches. Our final thickness is going to be 1 inch. So we're actually going to have to run this a couple more times. I'm going to do it at the same time as we do the legs, because I want the legs to be 1 inch square as well. So let's go ahead and run those. It's a little hot in here. Like that. All right. I'm gonna cut a couple of good edges off of this, get it down to 6.5 inches wide, and then we'll get out the miter gauge and we'll trim the ends square and get it down to our final size. And then from there, are you recording this?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure. Where was I? So we'll get this down to final width. Final length, have all square sides, and then from there we'll start laying out to see how long the aprons need to be based on how long this is. It'll be easier to explain whenever I this will be easier to explain when I get everything cut and ready. I can't get my thoughts together.
Yes.
I feel like I got something else going on back here. I feel like you're throwing me off, kid.
I'll just leave.
like 42?
18.
18.
Close enough.
I thought you had kids. You know what? I think the best thing we can do from here is run heavy equipment. Now at this point, we know that down here. Here, I got
Can't hear anything.
I got you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going to put these in a safe space because you keep losing them.
They were never lost. They were on my head the whole time.
So now that we got these two edges parallel, doesn't matter if we go off this side or that side, as long as we're registered off of this. But we can't trust my measure anymore because that was the old saw. So we're going to have to just square up one side, measure over 14 inches, and square up the other side. So how much room we got to work with here? 16. So yeah, if I square off, just cut off that little bit, we can flip it over and cut to our line. All right, so now we're going to take the 1 inch square stock that is going to be the leg. So as you can see, we got a little crack down here, and we got a little bit of blowout from the planer right there. And so I just want to measure, make sure, there we go. Make sure we're 5 inches per leg, so we need 20 inches total. So between that and that little crack, we got 22 inches. So really, let's just mark this one. So I've already got the stop block set for 5 inches. So we will cut this off, flip it over, and that'll be our side we registered to the stop, and we'll cut 5 inches per piece. So let's go ahead and get our safety gear on. You want some headphones?
Sure.
Yeah? I'll get them. I'll do it. You mean put them on for you too? kind of do, don't you? I'm like, I'm laughing, but there you go. No use in explaining it. Let's just do it, right?
Yeah, right.
So, these legs will set like that, except for they're actually going to set through. So we're actually going to have to notch this out, which, good thing it's just a dog bowl. We're going to have a little bit showing right there. Can you see that?
Yep.
So when I notch that out, you're still going to, hey, my dog won't care. So now we got that. So I'm going to set these aside. Now we need to focus on the aprons. So we need to cut these down to rough dimensions. So, you know, we can cut them down to, you know, I usually leave a couple inches on each one, especially when you have all scrap. So we'll cut a couple at 13, maybe 14, couple at 14, couple at 7 inches. Smarter man would just cut it in half. Okay. All right, so now I gotta go through the process of squaring these up. I do got a little bit of bow down here, but I think that once we shorten that up, you won't have it, and then this side here won't have it. So it's kind of right around that knot there. So that, I mean, if you went through on the joiner and tried to take all that down, you would lose so much thickness, whereas the quickest way to flatten a board is with your saw. Just cut it down to the dimension that you need. So instead of worrying about how flat the faces are, we're going to worry about how square these edges are. So one thing you can do too is if you got scraps, there's a good chance that you've already got one side squared up from the last time you used it. So the one I was looking at might have been a very unsquare edge, but the other side might be square. So it's always worth checking before you go getting out either hand tools or, you know, taking it to your joiner. So they're both relatively unsquare. They're actually co-unsquare. Let's do this. Just need one flat edge, like that. And then we can reference off of both of those, cut it, and then we can probably flip them back just to make sure to get it to final width. So Nate and I were just thinking that with this piece sticking up, because we're going to have it, can you get all that? So this will be sitting as high as the table, and so this is basically our apron and the bottom of the leg. I think this looks a little chunky, so let's look at our dominoes, and we definitely have some room to shorten that up. See if I can do this with one hand. So if we cut it down maybe in there. How many baby dolls did you have growing up, Nate?
7 or 8.
Don't send me your magnets. Don't send me your stickers. Don't ask for stickers. Buy something from me, you get a sticker with the item. That's how it works. Unless we're friends, then I'll do a sticker swap. Let's just be quiet for a while. Do you have stickers?
I don't. I can make some.
Don't.
Okay.
So anyway, Nate started recording after I said it, but I told him I think I'm going to do a couple sub-assemblies. So what we have here is I plunged for the domino here and domino here. only thinking I was centering to this, but not thinking that those dominoes would run into each other. So what we're probably going to have to do is do 2 sub-assemblies where we pop these together, and then we'll just probably have to trim some dominoes and get them to fit that way, which is okay. So, I mean, you can see it's starting to look like a table now, guys. That's adorable. What do you think, Nate?
I think it looks just like your dining room table.
Would you let a dog eat off of this?
Definitely.
So normally on a tabletop, attaching it to a base, you'd use Z-clips, something like that. So, but since it's just for a dog feeder, we're gonna just use silicone. I'm gonna put a couple dabs in here to allow for wood movement. The silicone's pretty nice because it always allows for any kind of movement anyway, because it's so flexible. But I might actually kind of hit a couple of these just to kind of waterproof it, because I know my dog's gonna lick up water and all that stuff. So yeah, so love it or hate it, I'm doing it with silicone. So there. All right, guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. I'm gonna have plans for this for you guys to download if you guys would like, but definitely like, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you like the videos. And if you didn't, hit like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.